on? Okay, I'm ready.
Fixed is what happens when keeping it real goes wrong. No. It's what happens when revenge is taken too far. When you're doing too much to right a wrong. There is such a thing as doing too much when righting a wrong. My mom told me that she taught me right from wrong, but she taught me too well, because when I see something wrong, I have to point it out. I have to fix it. And that's not always necessary. So this movie really explores how far is too far with revenge and what it does to affect everyone around you, including yourself. If you saw the Fixed trilogy, the Solemn Few, that saw the Fixed trilogy, it's really about a photographer that is going through a breakup. The first film, Fix Me, and he's using his job to fill the void. Second film and third, Fix You and Fix Us, were kind of, here's what happened to the rest of the cast during that time. So years later, I decided to write a story about bringing all that to a close, because I felt like Fix Us was just kind of open-ended. I didn't like it didn't feel complete to me. So,
My name is Sonia Tyler, and I am the Associate Director of Fixed, as well as Nicolette. I play one of the principal actresses. So, I love realizing dreams, and I really appreciate the director and have watched him grow a lot. Jarek James has done a lot in his filmmaking, and it was just really cool seeing him in action, putting it all together, and being a part of that story. So for me, that was, it just felt really good.
My name is Crystal Cleveland, and I play Rachel in the films.
My name is Courtney Cleveland, and I play the star, the main character. The reason for all of this whole trilogy, series, this amazing body of work being put together was all because of me and my character, Vladimir.
My name is Dwayne Gates, and I play the character of David in the film.
And my name is Nancy Gates, and I play the character of Letty.
My favorite part of this particular film had to do with Jarek's character revealing to us that he was a father. And the child was like 3. This is like walking around, doesn't really need the diaper change, and he's been a father this whole time with no knowledge.
I am Rob Dawson, and I play Rob in the film. Well, I went from being a villain in the first movie, and actually most of even the second movie. Actually, I was a villain in the second movie, to evolving to finding out the truth and, becoming, I don't want to say the hero because I don't like being a hero, but let's just say the anti-hero, and helping the main character figure things out. I think my character evolved. You can see the evolution in the character. I actually appreciate what the character went. I had a lot of fun doing it.
Fixed has a very key character in Karina, played by Sydney Gates. Karina is briefly mentioned in the Fixed trilogy and Fix Us as the sibling of one of the main villains. But I never went further into her character. I had no plans to. I thought, at the time, Fix Us was going to be the end of everything. But years later, I go back to writing. It's like, what if I take that one person and just blow it up into a whole nother story based around that person? So you'll find out who she's connected to, what she has to do with everything. And this film is really in the spirit of sequels having origin stories preceding all the original films. That's what I was going for with her character, at least.
Karina is a badass bitch. She likes to kick ass and take names with no problem at all. She is very strategic in what she does. She's very analytical and calculated, and she does everything with a purpose. She's very purpose-driven. So, that kind of just lays out exactly how she is throughout the movie. It's just she has this one thing that she knows she needs to do, and every single step that she takes is getting her closer to doing it.
What has changed the most about the Fix series is the storytelling. It has evolved. It was always a great story, but it just got more complicated and intricate. The characters became fleshed out, for lack of better words. Yes.
My favorite part of the film was probably the climax. Right when the action starts with SLAYAGE. You know, I really got to see my character stretch and just, you know, just his development over the period of all the previous three films before? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really got to see the depth of Vladimir, and, you know, to be able to show that and to you know, just to display it for the fans was an amazing honor. I'm so humbled by it, and extremely proud.
Although I was part of the process and filming and production, I was not part of post-production, really. I was able to see a few of the things in the editing process, but I really was not a part of it. And I loved the music. There were so many great new artists on it. I think it really helped tell the story, and it was super fresh. I mean, or Jarek Tarantino that shit with like just great music. To help tell the story.
Okay, so hi guys, my name is Raquel Sayo. I actually had the No Mercy track, which is pretty much the theme song of the movie. I loved how it was used in the beginning with Sydney when she was talking to her brother. I thought it kind of like captured the song's energy really, really well because it's super like badass and like grungy, and that was exactly the vibe she gave me. I was also featured in the film with the track Replay, which was used in the scene with Renee and Jarek when they left her event at the club and had their nightcap. I really, really, really loved the way that song was used as well, because I always kind of envisioned it as something to kind of like, you know, just kind of like ride to, you know, chill with, and also, you know, you can be glued up with that song, so I always kind of envisioned that type of energy with it as well, so. Yeah, that's what I brought to the table. Yeah, so I loved the movie. I felt like the writing was really, really creative. You know, I'm big on songwriting, so I'm also really big on just like overall creativity or the vision that was had for those characters. I feel like they were acted upon very well. It was very, very believable. And I really, really liked the humor that was added into it. Like, that was probably some of my favorite parts of the movie. But yeah, overall, I think it was a really, 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 really good storyline.
I have a lot of parts that were interesting to me. I have to say, the women kicking all kinds of tail was definitely a favorite part for me. Another favorite part was, you know, kind of what do they call them, Easter eggs, was finding out that this stuff kind of got started with Jarek deciding to follow some guy who had, you know, caused his whole life to change and ended up changing and setting up a whole other stream of events after the fact.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the girls' SLAYAGE. I got to work with Jarek on 2 days shooting some of that, and man, everybody was super professional, and those girls kicked ass. They rocked.
I can't say I have a favorite part. You know, I had a ball doing it. It was just fun. You know, it's out of my norm. It's not something I normally would do. You know, but I can't necessarily. The action scenes were a lot of fun. The person who became my favorite character throughout the series, and that's because he kept me laughing, Vlad. Vlad had me rolling throughout the entire series. I could not be around that man filming because I couldn't stop laughing.
Hands down was Crystal, because she's just hilarious. She's just so funny. I loved her nonchalant way of answering questions, and she's extremely witty, and I just really enjoyed her dialogue, and especially with her new beau. It was just a lot of fun seeing that dynamic play out on stage as well.
By myself, I'm amazing, but you know, when you put all of us together, forced to be reckoned with.
I actually do agree. Like, just seeing the characters develop over the series of films has been amazing. To see the progress. I mean, you're rooting for some people, and some people you want to see go down. I mean, and it has really been a a crazy 7 years.
The scenes that stood out the most to me were the ones that I were in. Again, I really got to see an amazing actor right before my own eyes. I surprised myself. People were so amazed. All right, I'm not gonna do this.
I'm gonna say, but I gotta say that even outside of myself, the evolution of the main character, because you saw the change in the main character from the first movie, even through this movie, and it's like, it's all the whole refusal to play the victim, the refusal to be the victim, and then it's like, he was never the victim. It was just a matter of piecing things together, but he was never the victim. But like I said, I think Vlad was the one I liked because he was just funny. He kept you laughing. Him and Crystal just kept you laughing, and the whole twist with the couples in the movie, I think will always be funny to me. Because none of them were married before we started filming, right? And everybody that was a couple that ended up being a couple. Except me, my girlfriend dumped me in movie one, so.
Well, what can I say? The writer and director is probably prophetic, so I hope he writes something about me. But no, it's really interesting how the two worlds paralleled. So you have this imaginary world that the writer wrote about, and then you have these actors that came in to support the project, and you made like families out of it. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And it's all good stories too. Yeah, so it's pretty cool and special, I think.
I think that from the stake of his inner circle characters, the relationships have changed from Rob's relationship with Jarek to the character played by Rob, his relationship with Jarek, to the relationships of his friends in general have changed from the beginning film to this film. Myself and Nancy are married, and Brittany and Anya's characters are married couples now. So
Crystal and Courtney.
And Crystal and Courtney characters are married couples now. So it's very interesting. I think that just the personal relationship of those characters in reality have changed, and also in the film, I think, have changed a bit.
I would actually say that's both true and untrue. I would say the dynamics between Jarek and those same three couples in the story, they've kind of been his confidants and counselors from the very first movie. Every single time he's ever in a scene with them, he's always seeking out their advice, which I think is a wonderful thing, and a very, very good unifying aspect to all four films. And it did continue.
Well, besides my own amazing acting ability, I was really surprised with SLAYAGE. I feel like they really delivered. They were exactly what I needed. They were exactly what I needed to really bring this thing on home. They brought it home.
And, not to toot your horn, because you absolutely don't need me to do that, but I really did not expect the Fetty Wap chips to appear. And I really thought that was it was brilliant almost. And I heard other people say, where'd those chips come from? Before Jarek said, where'd those chips come from? Yeah. And, that was really... it was a serious gem. Like, that was a hilarious moment. If not my favorite moments, then definitely top 3.
SLAYAGE. SLAYAGE. I honestly, I love SLAYAGE. I love how they came in. I love the twist at the end. There were a lot more twists than I expected.
So behind the scenes, it was just a lot of fun. The actors were hilarious. Some of them just had me dying on the floor. I'm sure you've seen pictures of that on social media. And from the acting side, my favorite, I don't know. I loved every part. My favorite part is definitely SLAYAGE. I just love seeing those women wilding out, kicking butt. And more than that, I love seeing Trey being picked up in the air and whirled around and thrown down. Oh, and my babies. How can I not say my babies? They had their little debut. It was so cute. Seeing the children on stage. That was cute.
SLAYAGE is a group of girls that appear in the film, inspired by a photo shoot I did for a friend of mine's clothing company. I had a picture of 3 girls in a hallway in all black, and I thought it just looked badass. You know, my favorite type of action movie is the badass chick flick, which is your Resident Evils, your Underworlds, Kill Bill, Columbiana, those type movies where the girl's the lead and she's just whooping everybody ass. And I thought, as ridiculous as it would be for my story, what if I added a group of all-girl bounty hunters? They just showed up out of nowhere like Wonder Woman in Batman vs. Superman. Hence that scene where I turn around and Vladimir, played by Courtney Cleveland, they both turn around like, do you know who that is? I don't know who that, like Batman and Superman when Wonder Woman showed up. Like, did you invite her? I don't know who that is. I thought she was with you.
Well, I am Destiny Barlow, and I play a kick-ass, very intelligent, laid-back bounty hunter by the name of Jade.
My name is Jessica Rochelle, and I played Celine, one of the bounty hunters, aka SLAYAGE crew. Hey!
In the theater, actually, the crowd's reaction is what really excited me about even. It made me forget about all of the torture that we went through with filming.
Well, this particular film, besides beating a man's ass, which was fun, I got out of just the unity, like, because with Jarek's character, he played himself, by the way, if you knew, I didn't knew that. Just the unity, like, besides with my character, I got to play badass, but what I got had nothing to do with my character or the group of women that I was a part of. It had everything to do with the storyline. So Jarek's character just had like this tribe of people who were just like, nah, we here, we're ready to roll and do, And also, it taught me that don't mess with the baby mama, because then she'll hire people like me to beat you guys up. Don't mess with the baby mama, because the baby mama knows if she's crazy, 9 times out of 10 she knows some other crazy people who have weapons and specialized training to kick ass and take names. Yes.
TJ's girlfriend. Comedy gold. She need to be on stage. She should be on stage. She was hilarious. And she didn't have a huge part, but hilarious. You can't make that up. She's lived that. I don't care what she says. She's lived that.
So I wanted kind of a comedic way to introduce them. And if you look at the fight scene as it carries on, there's a video game element. The scene, we didn't mean to when we were filming it, but it kind of looks like a video game, like your Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat setup, one person on this side, one on this side. So I added the little graphics at the top of the screen, and it looks like your typical Street Fighter sequence, even with the little points scored for all the moves they did, So it's a little tongue-in-cheek.
It took me back, right? I could not believe, I was like, KO points? Who the hell? What? Like, when I saw that, I was like, the first thing that popped in my mind was Mortal Kombat. I was like, okay, I'm just waiting on Scorpion to just come out and say, get your ass over here. Get over here. I was like, oh my God. Then it said KO. I was like, I'm dead. No. It was different. It was a scene like it was it was supposed to have been a serious scene, but it turned out to be more of a animated surprise. It wasn't a pow, pop up on the screen type of thing. But I was like, it took me back to Mortal Kombat days when I saw that.
Honestly, at the premiere, a lot of people asked, like, wow, you guys, your fight scene was really awesome. Fun fact, we actually slapped each other in the face. There was no acting involved there because we really wanted to be as realistic as possible. So we're just like, all right, we're just going to slap each other in the face and actually, like, not necessarily, like, punch each other in the face or anything, but, like, a lot of the movements and stuff were very real. I threw a guy, spun him around and threw him. That was real. You can't, like, edit that in video, I don't think.
The hardest thing for me to do in the film was the fighting. Like the previous, what was it, Fix You, I think. I had the fight scene with Rob, and it's not really hard to get choked out. You know what I mean? But I had to really go in here and kick some ass. You know, we had to do rehearsals where I had to learn how to fight and you know, the right way to punch and not punch and how to kick and not kick. And so for me, that was really taking me just a little bit, you know, even further. That was taking from good to great is what that was. It took me from good to great. Yeah.
So, you know, by this time, you know, like our interactions on camera are natural for, you know, several reasons. But so the hardest thing that I experienced with this particular film actually wasn't me on film. It was the Georgia July heat and being pregnant and no one knew.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, when seeing it on the big screen, it was definitely worth wanting to kill everybody.
The particular day that we filmed, and I'm sure everyone could agree with me on this, it was just very hot as hell. Being hot and dealing with the elements and trying to remain in character, I think was a little difficult because you could tell people were just like, oh, I'm so tired, all right, oh, we gotta fight now, but it's like 20,000 degrees, so... But we, you know, that was the hardest part. But, like, overall, like, nothing else was hard. I really enjoyed just being picked to be in the film. So that was awesome.
What has changed the most about the Fix series is the storytelling. It has evolved. It was always a great story, but it just got more complicated and intricate. The characters became fleshed out, for lack of better words. Yes.
What I enjoyed was the increase of intrigue throughout the stories, the increase of story, and the increase of characterization between each of the different characters, but especially Jarek himself. His character has developed from what was already a very three-dimensional character to even more dimension, and you get to see more aspects of who Jarek the character is. You get to get more backline story on, you know, where these things come from, and you get to see more emotion coming out of him. I would say that Jarek as an actor, producer, director, etc. has increased substantially since the very first film.
I will have to agree with that, but I have one caveat that I want to see. And maybe it doesn't work so much for these films, but I would like Jarek to not have a trifling girlfriend. He forever having a trifling girlfriend. Oh my God. They disappear, or they get kidnapped, or they just
show up
trifling.
with
They try to
babies.
take his money. I want him to have like a drama-free girlfriend and somebody else bring the drama. It's not someone that he is in a relationship with because they be trifling.
You know, not only was this a well-written script, the talent was just phenomenal. Phenomenal talent. I can't think of any other word to describe it.
So right before the premiere, I decided to go back and watch the other three films just to, you know, I really wanted to build up to see, you know, the progress that we've made as a crew. And the fight scenes, I think, kind of stick with me at the end of the day. Like, it is, you know, some of them are more comical, and then others are like SLAYAGE. I mean, SLAYAGE really stands out, like in the final film.
Amazing actors once again. They really did a great job.
Yeah.
I felt like, okay, so as far as like Renee's character, I felt like her kind of finesse game in the movie was like on point. Like, and I feel like her, just like the way she talks and articulates everything, I feel like it just fit her. You know what I mean? So I really like that. I really like Sydney's character because it was more soft and more like, it was still grungy, but it was just a little softer. Like, so I thought that was cool.
The other parts in the films that stood out to me. The part where Jarek goes to his when he realized he was getting played by the club girl, which is just like, how did he not know? Like, but anyway, I actually was surprised at the connection with that, and I'm hopefully not giving too much away of the story. But the fact that he could like call up a friend and be like, "Yo, let's figure out what this is about," and get answers, and the next thing you know, they're rolling up, they ready to fight and blow hands. Like, that stood out to me because Jarek's character had just, again, this team of people. He had just like anybody he could reach out to at any time for something, and friends that just ready to roll and just blows for no reason, without any question. Like, I'm ready. Let's go.
I took out of this film experience how to really learn from other people that you're working with as well, and just to be able to see a lot of different actors and the choices that they made for their characters and how they played them, and since everyone has such a rich storyline to them, and to see all of their characters evolve into what this last movie has for them has been incredible to see. It's such a learning experience, because as an actor you really learn from watching other people, and to see the choices that they made, and the characteristics they gave their character, and the personality and everything, just all of that energy that they had was amazing. Like, I feel like I've really learned so much from everyone else on this film, especially the director, Jarek.
So I was very humbled in this experience because I ended up being an actor, and I thought I was only going to be an associate director. And it was kind of thrown on me last minute. And I was humbled because it's really hard changing gears, being behind the camera and then being in front of it. So it's amazing how Jarek James, the actor and writer and director and editor of this series, how he was able to do that, because it humbled me. It was very difficult to play that part.
I've had directors in the past tell me exactly what they need from me, and they tell me to a T, and then it's almost like they take all of your creative energy out of you because they have this specific vision. They want exactly like this. They want the character to sound like this. They want them to look like this, act like this, do all of these different things, and everything's so calculated to a point then you're a robot. And Jarek has this overall image and view, or like a concept that he wants for this character in this film, and he tells you, but then he allows you to just be you as that character and make those decisions, and that's the best feeling in the world, is to have that creative freedom, but to be able to work with another creative mind that you still get some energy off of. They give you feedback, but all of it's constructive, and you can really learn from everyone that you're working with. So it's been amazing.
Everything as a totality, all 4 films, it's really just a perseverance. I mean, I remember a day where the running joke in my household was Jarek completing his scripts, and now it's been probably 10 years since I've gotten to correct that joke, so I mean, I'm just proud of the progress and, inspired by just the tenacity and the final products.
The movie is about pretty much everybody just getting revenge, and it's like this whole mashup of just, if you have beef with someone, like, this movie is just everyone beefing. Like, and everyone at the end of the day, like, getting that out of the way and doing what they need to do, which is, like, so amazing because, everyone goes after who they have a problem with, and they get their shit done, and then at the end of the day, like, everyone's good. You got it out of the way, you did what you needed to do, and now, like, it's time to move on with our life. We finally got, through that, and yeah, it's just, like, a badass movie. About being badass.
My final takeaway. I think that first and foremost, I want to thank God for blessing me with amazing talent. I want to thank my family and my friends for all of their support. Sometimes when you're practicing, or I'm sorry, not practicing, that's not the word I want to use. When you're preparing for a role, you have to get into what we call, in my industry, we call it character. And once you get into character, you must stay there. There's no leaving character. You're in. Once you're in, you're in. The only way you're out is you die. Okay? And so, that being said, I just want to thank them for tolerating me while I was in character for the months that we were filming. I want to thank my pastor. Wait, I don't have a pastor. All right. I want to thank my son. Okay? My son, because he is my reason. He's the reason for me going so hard to make sure that we complete these films, that I'm good, that the film is good, so that they'll sell, we get money, and he can survive. I really want to, I want to thank my son. I just want to let him know, whenever he sees this as an adult, that this was all for you. This empire that we built here, this cinematic perfection that you have witnessed, it's all for you, son. I love you.